The latest. Thank you for your love and support. I appreciate you all. The President of South Africa, Cyril Ramaphosa, addressed the nation and exposed some lies concerning the United States of America, misinformation that they are spreading across the world. According to him, Donald Trump or the United States of America refused to participate in the G20 because they claim that there is genocide against the white South Africans that are living there, and that is the reason to which they do not want to participate. And according to him, this is a false information that the United States of America is spreading. And when Donald Trump even brought out this issue, we saw that some white South Africans came out and dispute this information, claiming that there's nothing of that sort, because the United States of America didn't get what it wanted. They wanted to use the white South Africans to their advantage, but majority of them refused to fall for it. We also saw when he decided that he wants them to move to the United States of America. And according to Cyril Ramaphosa, Trump said that they will not involve South Africa in the next G20 that will be happening in the United States of America. And he said that they are a full member of the G20, so they will continue to participate. And the United States of America has no right to eliminate South Africa because they are also one of the founding members.
About our Ubuntu philosophy, one trade representative said, "In other countries, hospitality is a transaction. Here in South Africa, it feels like a tradition." The G20 consists of 19 countries plus the European Union and now the African Union. As the G20 presidency, South Africa invited 16 guest countries to participate in the G20 discussions, including especially a number of African countries and Africa's regional economic communities and financial institutions. All G20 members attended all the G20 related meetings throughout the year, except for one member country. It is regrettable that the United States of America, which is a founding member of the G20 and which takes over the presidency of the G20 from South Africa in 2026, chose not to participate in the G20 Leaders Summit and the final meetings leading up to that summit. It is even more unfortunate that the reasons the United States gave for its non-participation were based on baseless and false allegations that South Africa is perpetrating genocide against Afrikaners and the confiscation of land from white people. This is blatant misinformation about our country. We were most pleased that many organizations, businesses, and individuals from the United States participated in large numbers in G20 related activities such as the Business 20 Summit and the G20 Social Summit. South Africa valued their constructive and enthusiastic participation. Earlier this week, we formally handed over the G20 presidency for 2026 to the United States, observing the appropriate diplomatic protocols. A few days ago, President Donald Trump made a statement to the effect that South Africa would not be invited to participate in the G20 in the United States. He repeated untrue statements about genocide against Afrikaners and the confiscation of land from white people in our country. We must make it clear that South Africa is one of the founding members of the G20, and South Africa is therefore a member of the G20 in its own name and right. We will continue to participate as a full, active, and constructive member of the G20. Despite the challenges and misunderstandings that have arisen between South Africa and the United States, South Africa remains a firm and an unwavering friend of the American people. We recall the great solidarity movement in the United States that stood by our side in our struggle for democracy and freedom. We recall how the Bill of Rights in the United States Constitution inspired us as we wrote our own Constitution. We offer the people of the United States nothing but goodwill and friendship. We affirm our commitment to continue to engage in dialogue with the United States government and to do so with respect and with dignity as equal sovereign countries. We value the United States government and its people as a partner. We have common interests, common values, and a shared wish to advance the prosperity and well-being of the people of both of our countries. As a country, we are aware that the stance taken by the United States administration has been influenced by a sustained campaign of disinformation by groups and individuals within our country, in the United States and elsewhere. These people who are spreading disinformation are endangering and undermining South Africa's national interests, destroying South African jobs, and weakening our country's relations with one of our most important partners. We must remind these people that South Africa is a constitutional democracy with a Bill of Rights that guarantees equality under the law. We have an independent judiciary able to uphold our Constitution and defend the rights of all South Africans. We are a country that has a tradition of dialogue, that has an enduring ability to come together to confront the challenges that we face. South African problems must be solved by South Africans themselves. We have now embarked upon a national dialogue where all South Africans from all walks of life, of all races and creeds, are invited to forge a new future for our country. We have determined, in the tradition of Nelson Mandela and other great leaders that have helped to build our nation, that no one must be excluded. Every voice and every perspective must be heard. And as we invite people to participate, we also invite those who are spreading misinformation about our country to bring their concerns and their solutions to the national dialogue. We must never allow others to try to redefine our country and cause divisions amongst us or dictate who we are as a nation. We know who we are. We are South Africans. We are defined by our ability to work together and to find solutions to problems that beset our country. We live together, work together, learn together, laugh together, even play together. We also pray together as we did today during the National Day of Prayer. We also mourn together. We celebrate together and face our challenges together. In the best and worst of times, we have stood together. We must work with greater focus and determination to address the many challenges our country is facing and make our South Africa a peaceful, prosperous, and great nation. And as our sportsmen and women have taught us, we are stronger together, always. Lastly, thank you once again for coming together as South Africans to host a very successful G20. You made us proud. Nkosi Sigelela i-Afrika, Morena, ubuluke sitjhaba sa heso. God CN South Africa, God bless South Africa. Mudzimu patucheze Africa Chipembe. Hosi katekisa Africa. A French delegate shared something profound when they said, we came to discuss economic frameworks, but what we'll remember is how your people made us feel. That is not soft power. That is real power. Dr. Abel concludes by saying, this weekend, the world's most powerful people aren't talking about our GDP or our credit ratings. They are talking about our people. And that's a currency no economy can print. World leaders, diplomats, delegates, and observers have been sharing their own impressions online as well. The Prime Minister of India, Narendra Modi, said, thanks to the wonderful people of South Africa and the government of South Africa for organizing the summit. The Managing Director of the International Monetary Fund, Kristalina Georgieva, praised South Africa's incredible hospitality. Germany's Chancellor Friedrich Merz posted, in a difficult international environment, it is important to preserve the G20 as a forum for global coordination and to firmly integrate Africa. Thank you for your hospitality and ambitious presidency in these turbulent times. The UN Development Programme's South Africa representative wrote, South Africa delivered a G20 that showed the world what African leadership looks like: dignified, strategic, and people-centered. A young global leader from Kenya wrote, no matter the language, Ubuntu is understood. South Africa brought that spirit to the G20, and the world felt it. This is what I'd like to thank the people of South Africa for showing up for your country, for standing by your country, for showing time and again that no matter what difficulties we face, when it comes down to it, we remain proudly South African. And once again, as your president, I say thank you. Over the past year, our country has hosted tens of thousands of delegates in more than 130 meetings in every part of our country, from Gqeberha to George, Cape Town to eThekwini, Hoedspruit to Polokwane. We've also held meetings in other cities on the African continent and beyond our shores related to our G20 presidency. Drawing from Brazil's G20 presidency last year, we convened the G20 Social Summit to advance the voice of civil society and ordinary people. The Social Summit, which was attended by more than 5,000 people from around the world, was an exceptional celebration of the diversity and vibrancy of global civil society. You might have been inconvenienced by the influx of visitors to our country. There were road closures and there were other disruptions to your daily lives. We thank you for being patient and understanding, and we apologize for any difficulties you might have experienced. We thank the many people from across the country who welcomed visitors to our cities, to our towns, through our airports, living in our hotels for the time they were here, conference centers, restaurants, and tourist sites. We thank our security services personnel who ensured that all G20 events took place without any incident. We thank all members of different social sectors who participated in the engagement groups and in other G20 activities throughout the year. We thank the business people who participated in the G20 business forums and the B20 for bringing together businesses from other countries to focus and discuss our own economy. I thank you.
So the United States of America do not have any right to say this nation isn't going to participate. We also saw that the United States of America came out saying that the President Cyril Ramaphosa was running his mouth. There have been a heated tension between South Africa and the United States of America. And this is why we need to unite as Africans, because what is happening between the United States of America and South Africa isn't only happening between South Africa, but between the United States of America and Africa. This is how we have to see it. And if we make it the sole responsibility of South Africa like we always do, we'll not get to anywhere. Africa, we are a people and we are one people, and that is one thing that we need to be seeing ourselves. And our leaders, we want them to also be leaders that will be for us and not against us. These people are doing everything possible to make sure that the African will always kneel to whatever that they want. The moment we decide not to play alongside, then they come out with a lot of things, trying to do anything at all to us just to make sure that we always obey them. But we are sovereign people, and if we are sovereign people, we should be able to decide what will happen. We saw that Cyril Ramaphosa even handed over the presidency to an empty seat of the United States of America because they decided to send a low staff, and the president Cyril Ramaphosa said this is not acceptable because the person is not qualified to be there. And there were a lot of people that came across the world. They appreciated what happened in South Africa, and we saw that everything went on smoothly. But we need to understand that as Africans, until we start to be who we are and stop dancing to the tune of these people, we'll continue to be where we are, and other people will always take advantage of us. It is as a result of how we have sold ourselves to the world. That is the reason to which till date we are still having what we are seeing. Because how can you tell us that the list is too much? He has invited a lot of people from third world countries, as if other heads of states are not heads of states in Africa, and these people are not happy. Anything that has to do with the African, they always see that we are inferior because of how our leaders always present themselves to these people. And that is why we need to come together united to fight for our rightful place. And African Union is always watching things of this sort that they need to fight. That's when their energy is always in the room. But when we have leaders who have risen to give us the better Africa we are yearning for and preaching in African Union, that is when we see how active this organization is and is ready to do anything to fight for the colonizers' rule. We are the only ones that can set ourselves free. United we stand, divided we fall. And united we keep standing forever and ever. The greatest enemy of the African is mental slavery. So let's decolonize ourselves from mental slavery. Let's keep sharing to educate our brothers and sisters. Together we make African great for ourselves and the next generations that are going to come. So that's the latest around the world, in Africa, Southern Africa, and in South Africa.